One of my most proudest achievements happened early this year. So I wanted to get back into running because I wanted to feel that fire again that I used to have when I'd go out for runs late at night. And so at the very start of the year, in January, I decided to sign up for this big running event here where I live in Sydney called the City to Surf. And I decided to set myself this goal to run the 14 kilometers at a time of 5 minutes per kilometer. So that, if you don't know much about running, it's pretty ambitious considering I haven't ran for over a year. And I was also, planning to juggle that alongside my bodybuilding training. All right, so I've got this goal in front of me now. All I need to do is train so I can get there. So I put my laces on and I go out to the track that I always used to go on when I'd go for my runs. I run for half an hour and I cover 5.25 kilometers. So I don't even cover half the distance, and I think my pace was 5 minutes 42 per kilometer. That is when I knew there was no turning back. Because when I set myself a goal, I either get there or I die trying. So now the pressure's on. I've set myself this ambitious goal. I don't even know how I'm gonna get there, but regardless, I know I have to keep going. So I'm more ambitious than ever before. Every time I lace up and I go for a run, I push myself. I'm so exhausted. Every single time I come home, I'm drenched in sweat. But I'm smiling because I know that if I just keep putting in the work, I'm gonna get there. So my distance starts to improve. I go from 8 kilometers, then I do 10, then 12, then 14. My pace improving little by little every time. But there's just one problem. Time is running out. So it's June now, and I had this mission trip that I was going on with my church. That was coming up in July, right? So the next month. And this event was in August. So I was running out of time real fast. And so I realized that the only way that I'm going to achieve this goal is if I double down and go all in. So I do the unthinkable. I buzz my hair and I cut my calories down. Now it's crunch time. Every run that I'm going on, I'm pushing myself harder than ever before. I'm coming home absolutely exhausted. Even when I'm on my runs, I'm battling these thoughts in my mind telling me to give up or that I'm not going to be able to achieve this goal and that this goal was stupid anyway. But I refuse to quit. Even when my performance plateaus, I develop this internal belief that somehow I am going to make this. I'm going to achieve my goal. And so I start to record myself after every single run. I'm puffed and I'm drenched in sweat, and yet each time I'm sharing what I was thinking about during the run and how I am going to achieve this goal. Because I knew that one day I was going to make a video talking about how I push through and achieve my goal. So eventually the day comes. The day that I've been visualizing for months has finally come. I've done my prep. I've put in the work. Now it's time to execute. And so I'm standing in a crowd full of my competitors. There's probably 1,000 people around me. It starts to rain, and I'm not even thinking about that because all I can focus on is this nervous rush in my stomach. Am I even gonna make it? But just like every run before, I tell myself the exact same thing. I've got this. And so eventually the gates open, and all of a sudden I find myself running. I'm pushing myself, going up every single hill, gritting my teeth. I'm so focused on this goal. This is the goal that I've had for months now. And eventually I crossed the line after giving it my best. And I check my phone and I look at the time. I ran 14.5 kilometers at a time of 4 minutes 58 per kilometer. I did it. And this isn't even about running. It's about becoming a man who refuses to quit when it gets difficult. You see, challenge is where we as men feel most alive. It is only when we push ourselves and do what it is that scares us where we become the most aligned with the man who we've always meant to become. And so I challenge you, whether that be running at night, lifting heavy, waking up at 5 a.m. and building something that you're passionate about, or just taking that risk that you have been avoiding. Take action. Because life is just going to keep passing by. But the man that you become in the process, that is what defines you as a man. I want you to think about this visual for me. Imagine everything that you want in life. Say, the dream house, your dream car, dream body, your dream wife, everything that you've ever wanted, right? Whatever that may be. That is ahead of you. And all you have to do is run 100 miles, and I'm giving you like a week to do it. Okay, so you have to run 100 miles and you've got a week to do it. What's that, like 15 miles, right? That's not too bad. 15 miles a day, I can do that for everything I've ever wanted. Let's go, I can do that. So you feel this enthusiasm. You have this new challenge ahead of you, and you've got your vision on something, right? Something massive, everything you've ever wanted, right? So you accept the challenge. And so you start the first day strong. You run 20 miles and you're even feeling pretty good about yourself. So you say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna run a bit even at night. But then all of a sudden you've got your flashlight and you can't really see exactly where you're going. Suddenly it gets a little bit cold. The wind starts to blow and the journey doesn't feel as comfortable. But nonetheless, you push through and you wake up the next day and you start off strong again. Maybe you're 12 miles in on this particular day. And then all of a sudden, these little gremlins, they run beside you and they start to whisper in your ear saying, oh, hey man, like, it's good that you're doing this, you're putting in this effort, but just take it easy, bro. Like, you don't have to push so hard. Come hang out with us. Like, we're heaps of fun, man. You don't have to take life so seriously all the time. You don't have to be so ambitious. It's all right, man. There's been so many other people who have tried this exact same challenge, and look, man, just come hang out with us. Right? So you have these influences trying to pull you away. But something in your mind just says, no, that's not right. And you keep going forward. So you keep gritting your teeth. You keep putting in the days. You keep doing the miles. Now you're day 5. And let's just say you've got 10 miles left. You're so close. But now you start to get these thoughts in your mind. 10 miles out, you start to have these shin splints in your leg. Maybe you trip over, say, a rock, and it begins to rain. You are absolutely exhausted. You have had enough. And you start to think about what those gremlins said to you back on your second day. You're so close and yet so far away from achieving this goal. You're hobbling down the track. Each step, you feel this sharp pain in your leg. It's raining, it's miserable. You feel hungry. But something inside of you just keeps moving forward. Because you know that if you can just discipline yourself to keep going, on the other side is everything you've ever wanted. And so after all that pain, all that grit, all that sacrifice, after pushing through all that doubt, you eventually make it. You collapse over the line. And even though you are in the most pain you've ever been in, you're laying there smiling. Not necessarily because of the rewards that you have now, but because of the man that you became in the process. You see, I know that visual may, I know it's silly, right? That is the masculine journey. It's when we push ourselves to fight and achieve this goal that means so much to us. That is when we are the most masculine version of ourselves. You see, every single time you push through and you delay gratification, you are putting in another rep to become the man who refuses to quit when it gets tough. In life, sometimes it has to break you before it builds you. And so instead of seeing hardship as something to shy away from, see it as your rite of initiation as a man. It's like shedding off the skin so that you can become stronger. All right, so you just have to, as a man, learn to embrace hardship. Because, like I said, it's only when you embrace this hardship that you feel most alive as a man. All right, so I hope you resonated with this message. I know it's a longer video, so if you watched all the way through to the end, I respect you because you have a strong attention span. And I think you really like the videos that I'm making. So if you like this video, subscribe, give the video a like, comment and tell me what you think. I am always willing to hear feedback, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.